Okay, I'm going to teach you a very simple way to make this quilted coaster mug rug. Okay? Alright, so in your packet that I gave you from class, I gave you a square like this. It says cut 1 7x7 square batting and 1 of fabric for the back. Okay? That would be this right here, and then the batting that's inside. Also used fusible fleece. That works really well too. Here's that. And the batting with fusible fleece on top. Okay? And cut 4 of these for the center. Okay? I used 2 different fabrics. Okay? Pumpkins and then a green. You also need to cut out 4 of these little strips. It says right here 4 2-inch strips, about 8 inches long. Now we'll be cutting them down as we sew around it, but about 8 inches, just to make sure you have enough. The first couple ones you won't need the whole 8 inches. And then you're going to need the binding. Now I cut it out, the width of it, it's like 2.5 inches, but you really need to make this 28 inches long. Okay? If you don't have 28 inches of fabric, you can cut 14 and 14. Now, you can cut it on a bias, but we're just going to cut it straight. Okay? Now, once you cut out this 28-inch long strip, so you're going to fold this like that and iron it all the way down. So you see, you just fold it in half, and then there's a folded edge. And we're going to save that for later. Okay? So, what we're going to do, come over here to the sewing machine. And we're going to sew our little pieces together. So let's see if I can get this set up straight so you can actually see a little bit. Okay? Alright. I'll zoom in. Alright. So what I've done is I've taken these little squares and I've laid them out to where I have 2 right here, and then I wanted... So I sewed it together, and then I laid it out how I want it. Okay, and I've taken this one set and I've put it right sides together. Okay, and now I'm going to sew right here on this edge. Now, here's my sewing machine. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's a 0-1. So it's just, and then, or you could do a 0-0 even. And I've stitched length of a 3, and then I've scooted over this needle. I'm not sure if you can see that. It moves over when you change your width. Alright, so I've changed it to like a 6 and 6.0. A lot of people say 60, some of my kids. Okay, so I've done that on purpose, because if you have the needle in the middle and you want to stitch really close to the side, then you don't have your whole presser fit on your fabric. And so once you stitch, if you push the needle, space it over with your width on the bottom there, it does nothing to your straight stitch, but it moves it over. That way you can put the whole presser fit and the feed dogs that hold it and feed it through on, and it holds it better. The whole presser fit's on the fabric now. Okay, and then when you set it down, and you roll your needle in, okay, I can get it right, okay, and then I go ahead and back stitch back to the top if I started too far up, and then I'm just going to go down to the end, back stitch, and then I sew off my edge, roll my needle up, presser fit up, pull it out, cut it off, tuck your thread back under. Go ahead and cut off all your threads ahead of time, that way you don't have to deal with it later. Okay, I'm going to zoom out here. Alright, so I have my piece. Sewn it together, and it's very close to the edge, about 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to take it over to the iron, and I'm going to pull it out and iron that in that direction. Okay, now I've already done this piece and this piece. So I've sewn those. Let me lower this down a little bit. Here. Okay. Now, what I've done is I've already sewn these two together. Okay. And I did them opposites. So the middle would look like that. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to take these two and I open them up and I ironed it. Make sure that's going one direction. You can press your seams open if you want to, but I want to make sure that these are put together, and I want the seam to be here, not at the top here, but I want the seam to be here. So I'm putting right sides together. And most important is that seam in the middle. No matter what the rest of it looks like, or if say one of them hangs off a little bit more than the other, that middle seam is very important. Okay. I'm going to take a pin, put that right there. Okay, and then I can kind of fix those. Alright, now I'm going to take this, put that down on the edge, back stitch, my pin back out. Okay. So to the end, back stitch, and sew off. Okay, roll it up, pull it off, go ahead and cut off all your threads so you don't have to do it later. And I'm going to take this over to the iron, so we matched up the center really well. Okay, and I'm going to take this to the iron and iron that down. Okay, and pull it back over here. Alright, now time to get out our long pieces there. Let me iron this real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to take my pieces. You got that. And we're going to start putting those little pieces around it. Alright, get up in. Alright, so I'm going to take this. Now, this has no right side. Okay, not really. But if we were using the green, we definitely have a right side. So you put right sides together. So if this was the pretty side, you'd put that down right there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew at the top again. And I could leave that on there, but I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. So you didn't really need the whole 8 inches right there. Alright, so now I'm going to take this and sew right there. Okay, do that real quick. Cut off your threads. Okay. Now, you need to press every time so those seams are going in the direction you want them to go. Okay, so here's this. Sewed right there. I turned it over. I pressed that this way. Okay, now there's that one. Okay, so every time you attach one of these orange strips, it's going to be to the whole side. Alright, we've done this side. We pressed it open. Now we're going to do the next side. Okay, turn it. Do the whole side. Now you see this is shorter, this one's going to be longer. Okay, now sewing machine. Off, tuck it under, take your pins out. Okay. Alright, next side. We have that. I'm going to cut off the threads. I'm going to press it open. Okay. There's that side. Hold on. I can't see it. I'm kind of doing it fast. Don't do it fast at home. Take your time. Okay, so we've got two sides. This is the quilt top. Okay. Now we do the next side. Okay. Pin it and sew. Do that real quick. Okay. There's our next side. Alright. I'm going to press that. Okay. Now we do our last side. Okay. Okay. We're going to put this down. Chop her off. So right here. Now each time you're just keeping it right on that edge about 1/4 of an inch. Now it really does make a difference. You have to sew the same amount close to these edges every time if you want to make a perfect square. Okay, so there is our square. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our bottom batting piece, okay, with the back, and we're going to lay it on top. Okay, now it sticks out just a little bit, so we're going to cut that off and make it even. The sides are a little uneven. Go ahead and trim them off. Here, let's put a couple of pins in there. Keep it from moving. Just lay it down on your batting. Go ahead and pin, pin, pin. I keep telling the girls always, pin like crazy. It's not going to hurt it. If you're quilting, you put the quilting pins that look like safety pins kind of all over it. You can put one in the middle if you want to. Okay, so now we can finish cutting. All the way around. Any batting sticking out, you can just chop that off. Any part of your square that looks not square. But be careful because you could just keep cutting and cutting and cutting. Alright, so you have totally just now made your little quilt top mug rug. Alright, I'm going to stop for here and go to number 2 in just a second. And that will be quilting it with a basic little just quilting stitch around there.